No DQ Galaxy, we are live with a recap of Friday Night Smackdown for March 1st, 2024, on the road to WrestleMania, sold out show in Glendale, Arizona, which is near Phoenix, Arizona, metro area of Phoenix, right by the stadium where WrestleMania 26 took place. Anyways, we started off with a very big segment. We had the Elimination Chamber video package, and then we had the Bloodline come into the ring. Roman Reigns with Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso, and Paul Heyman. Now, Roman Reigns was not happy with the acknowledge me reaction from the fans, and they were chanting Cody. He had them do it 3 times, and then he said he was done. He was leaving. But Paul Heyman noted that they have other business that needs to be attended to, and they could not just walk out and leave. He said The Rock was coming out. The Rock was coming out after the commercial break. Now, WWE did a great job here as far as milking this for all it's worth. Having Roman Reigns out there, stalling for time, setting up the commercial break with The Rock, trying to maximize the viewership numbers for this segment. Well done. I will give WWE credit for that. And after the commercial break, we had The Rock in the flesh with his expensive shirt, his $1,000 shirt, however much it costs. He asked the fans, "Are you sure you want to boo The Rock?" He said that Phoenix, Arizona, show was in Glendale, Metro Phoenix area. He said Phoenix, #1 city in America for cocaine and meth usage. Crowd still popped for this, though. So there you go. America is corrupted. Rock started to do his intro, and he finally got through it. And then he said the Bloodline is in a good mood. The reason is that pro wrestling is cool again. Rock said that it's sellout after sellout because of The Rock, Roman Reigns, and the Bloodline. And then he said, you know what's not cool? Your hero, Cody Rhodes. He said that he hears Cody. He knows about the challenge for WrestleMania, one-on-one match, and The Rock said no. The Rock said everybody wants to go one-on-one with the Great One, including all the women in the arena. And they all popped, and The Rock said, "Settle down, you crackhead Karens and you meth head Marys." The Rock said Cody's an idiot for even wanting a match before WrestleMania. But The Rock had a counter offer. He said the Bloodline are businessmen, and The Rock proposed that at WrestleMania Night 1, Cody Rhodes brings his walking clown emoji friend Seth Rollins to the event and go up against The Rock and Roman Reigns in a tag team match. Now, The Rock said that that's not all. They're going to up the ante for this. If Cody and Seth Rollins win, the Bloodline will be barred from ringside at WrestleMania Night 2. However, if The Rock and Roman Reigns win at WrestleMania, it will be Bloodline rules. In other words, anything goes. Bloodline can do whatever they want in the match. Rock said Cody better answer the challenge. He said that if Cody doesn't accept the challenge, nothing will stop The Rock from preventing Cody from winning the championship and finishing his story. Rock said he will end Cody's story tragically. He started to do the close, the if you smell what the Rock is cooking, but Roman Reigns stopped him. We had a little bit of a potential tease here for the future. Roman Reigns said he needs something from the Rock. He needs the Rock to acknowledge him. The Rock took off his glasses, and it looked like maybe things were going to go south here with these guys. But then The Rock got on the mic and said that they are family, and he acknowledges Roman Reigns as his tribal chief. They shook hands. They hugged. Crowd chanted, "You sold out." And then The Rock finished by saying that he will do anything for family. And he told the fans to go home and smoke some more crack. Closed out with "If You Smell." And The Rock was about to finish, but then Roman Reigns took the mic and said, "If you smell what the Bloodline is cooking." Hell of a segment here. Now, a couple of things I do want to discuss. First of all, shout out to Building Nexus, who sent in $2. He said, "Still don't trust The Rock." I mean, yeah, anything can happen at WrestleMania. We'll have to see how this all plays out. I'll definitely give my predictions for this match before we get to WrestleMania, but a lot of twists and turns can still come. Match isn't official yet, but I mean, it's coming. Next week, Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins will answer the challenge on SmackDown. Now, this segment went about 40 minutes, and I'm not complaining. Like, this is all about building up WrestleMania, and they're maximizing the viewership heading into WrestleMania. Like, I would have done the same thing. It was hot. It was a hot segment. Great crowd. They were on fire for this, and you're really building up WrestleMania strong here. The only negative, and this was Fox, there was a "Die Rocky Die" sign in the crowd, and Fox kept blacking out the screen anytime the sign appeared, which hurt the segment with the screen going black. And also, the crowd was getting muted anytime they were chanting something profane, like "holy shit." We got muted audio. So muted audio and the screen going black numerous times during the match, or during the segment, I should say. That was frustrating. That sucked. But all in all, I really did enjoy the segment. Thank goodness WWE is leaving Fox. That's all I got to say. Great segment here, though. Loved it. Fantastic build-up for WrestleMania. And we'll talk more about this, I'm sure, on the No DQ review coming up. If you guys are liking this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up on YouTube and spread the word. Tell a friend about the channel. We got the No DQ review coming up Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, 1 hour before NXT. That will be the next No DQ review due to the Revolution pay-per-view. Live coverage, by the way, on NoDQ.com this Sunday. Now, we had a backstage segment with Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. They were watching the footage of Randy Orton getting eliminated due to the brass knuckles shot from Logan Paul. Randy Orton showed up. He wasn't too amused with them, so he issued a challenge to either one of them, and Waller chose Austin Theory. And Theory was pissed off about this. So we continue to see this tease of a potential breakup between Theory and Waller. We had our first match of the evening, which was like 8:45. We had Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi. this sucked for Naomi. She just came back. She got no entrance. I mean, the first 40 minutes of the show with The Rock and Roman Reigns took up a big chunk of the show. Maybe they should have just cut the match completely. I don't know. But yeah, this did not look good for Naomi here. No entrance. Crowd was really into Tiffany. And Naomi did get in some offense, but then Tiffany went for the eyes, still acting like a heel, and then sent Naomi into the ring post and then finished her off with the prettiest moonsault ever to score the 1-2-3 victory. At this point, they might as well turn Naomi and get her in the bloodline. Maybe they'll make a storyline out of this where Naomi is not able to build up momentum for her return, and they got to turn her, and she organically goes in that direction. There's still time to do it, but yeah, this was not great for Naomi after just coming back. Tiffany Stratton, though, continues her momentum. And if they were chanting Tiffy time, they're loving her. I mean, her stock has definitely risen significantly since coming to the main roster. Big things coming for Tiffany Stratton. There's still time for Naomi. I say turn her heel, get her in the bloodline. And I will say that to the end of time. I will not give up this fight with Naomi. We had a Bayley video package hyping up her storyline with Damage Control, and we had a tag team match. We had the Kabuki Warriors, the women's tag team champions, going up against Bayley and Dakota Kai. Now, they ran to the ring, and Damage Control got out of the ring. Dakota Kai got on the apron. The Kabuki Warriors attacked Bayley, worked her over 2-on-1, and for whatever reason, the referee was allowing this 2-on-1 attack. Dakota was on the apron. Eventually, Bayley went for the tag to Dakota, and surprise, surprise. I mean, I was not surprised. Dakota Kai jumped off the apron. She double-crossed Bayley. I think even Stevie Wonder saw this one coming. The match was thrown out due to Dakota turning against Bayley. Damage Control beat her up. Women's champion Io Sky took a shot at Bayley and then laughed at her, held up the championship. Damage Control standing tall. It was a good angle. Predictable, but like Matthew pointed out, needed to be done. And then backstage, you had Jade Cargill confronting Damage Control. Looks like Jade is going to be maybe helping out Bayley here. And Nick Aldis said he wanted to speak with Jade and took her away. But there you go. I mean, again, makes sense. Dakota Kai, you got a stacked heel side, and Bayley's going to need some help. Mercedes Moné is AEW bound, so here you go. Jade Cargill to help out Bayley. I like it. I think it's an appropriate way to get Jade into the mix here. Shout out to Hamp Connell, who sent in a $10 super chat, or $9.99. Thank you, Hamp. Says, today in history, 1998 ECW Living Dangerously had two iconic moments. Taz and Bam Bam Bigelow crashing through the ring, and the crowd filling the ring with styrofoam heads for Al Snow. Definitely big moments for Bam Bam and Al Snow. Al Snow would go on to WWE, and he would have the whole head gimmick for the Attitude Era, and Bam Bam would get a pretty solid run in WCW coming off of his stuff in ECW. So yeah, pretty big moments for both of those guys. Moving on here, we had a Legado del Fantasma vignette talking about how they must eradicate the LWO. But before we get to the LWO Legado storyline, I forgot to mention Bron Breakker was in action. Bron Breakker versus Zion Quinn. Now let me break it down. This match between Bron Breakker and Zion Quinn. Let me do the play-by-play for this encounter. Bron Breakker hit him with a spear and won. It was like 8 seconds long. Now, this might have been a longer match if it wasn't for the opening segment going 40 minutes. But you know what? I actually liked this better. Like, Zion Quinn probably isn't going to be pushed at any level. They're using him as enhancement talent. So you got to build up Bron Breakker, right? I thought this was effective. I think this was more effective than doing like a 2-minute match. Just beats him with a spear. People will be talking about that. Fans will tell their friends, yeah, this guy Bron Breakker came in with one move, beat him with a spear in 8 seconds. Like, that's going to generate some buzz. I liked it. I thought it was better than doing a longer match. Anyways, that's all there was for that. We had Carlito versus Santos Escobar in a street fight. Crowd was chanting, "We want apples." So Carlito brought out an apple, and then Santos took him down with a suicide dive. Crowd was not happy about this whatsoever. We had tables brought out. Then Santos went for another suicide dive, but Carlito hit him with a steel chair. And then we had some interference. We had Angel and Humberto coming in. They triple teamed Carlito. Carlito managed to kick out. And then the LWO ran down. Carlito spit the apple in Santos's face and then hit him with a backstabber. Actually, I jumped ahead here. LWO came down and Rey Mysterio made his return. Rey was on crutches. Remember, he got injured. He actually had a legitimate injury, and they did the storyline to write him off of television. Rey Mysterio pretended like he was still hurt. He baited him in and then took out the Legado guys with the crutch. And then that's when Carlito spit the apple and hit the backstabber. And then Rey Mysterio came in with the 619 to Santos. And then Carlito put Santos through the table and picked up the 1-2-3 victory. I was a little surprised that Carlito won. When this match was announced, I thought, oh yeah, Carlito's losing. So yeah, Carlito actually picked up a win over Santos. Rey Mysterio is back. Now the question is it going to be Rey versus Santos one-on-one at WrestleMania, or is it going to be some sort of tag match? I mean, now the odds are stacked in favor of LWO. They got 4 guys versus the 3 guys of Legado. Will Legado bring in a new person to make it 4-on-4? Like, they could do that, although I still feel like we're getting a multi-man match with Bobby Lashley's group versus Karrion Kross's group, the Final Testament. So it might end up being Rey and Santos one-on-one at WrestleMania. And by the way, speaking of Lashley and Kross, they got a one-on-one match scheduled for next week, which I think is almost a guarantee that that's going to set up the multi-man match with those 2 groups for WrestleMania 40. And Rey Mysterio had a very interesting mask. Definitely gave Great Muta vibes, I will say that. Backstage, we had the New Catch Republic talking to Nick Aldis. They wanted a rematch for the tag team titles against Judgment Day at WrestleMania 40, but Aldis said that might be a tall order. He said he spoke with Adam Pearce, and they have an announcement regarding the tag team titles. Not sure what this is going to be. Maybe they're going to split the titles again. I've seen people speculating about that. Nick Aldis also ran into LA Knight. Yeah. LA Knight was looking for AJ Styles, and Aldis informed him that he told Styles to not be there because he knew Knight was going to be very pissed off. Knight said that Styles was drunk, flying across the world to screw him out of the Elimination Chamber match. And Knight said that the hangover is coming for AJ Styles. And like I said for the Elimination Chamber recap video, I think it's pretty obvious it's going to be LA Knight versus Styles at WrestleMania. We had our main event segment of the evening. We had Kevin Owens coming out there on commentary for Randy Orton versus Austin Theory. They showed the footage of Logan Paul acting like he was hurt so he could take the cheap shot at Randy Orton with the brass knuckles. And Logan Paul, who is the United States champion, will be on next week's show. Now, Orton had the early upper hand, but then Grayson Waller pulled Theory away as Orton was going for his vintage, slammed the guy on the announce desk. Theory then sent Orton into the ring post. Then he slammed Orton on the desk. And then after the commercial break, Theory attempted a blockbuster out of the corner, and Orton managed to counter that in midair with a superplex. Pretty cool spot there. And then he sent Theory out of the ring, did the slam on the desk, and then also slammed Theory on the desk. Theory was able to avoid the RKO with a blockbuster, but Orton kicked out. And then Theory went for Waller's move, the move where he rolls into the ring and goes for the cutter, but Orton countered it with an RKO out of nowhere and got the 1-2-3 victory. So no surprise here. Randy Orton wins. Definitely thought this was going to be the outcome. And then afterwards, Waller attacked Orton. Kevin Owens made the save, hit the stunner on Theory, and then Waller got hit with the RKO. Orton and Owens did a fist bump. All is good with them. Shout out to Michael, who's watching this from X. I do these live feeds for every show, every Raw, SmackDown, and Dynamite, and the pay-per-views. So if you want to interact with the chat room, you have to head over to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/AaronRift, or type in nodq.com/YouTube. This goes for anybody watching this on Facebook or Twitter/X. If you're watching on those sites or social media channels, head over to the No DQ YouTube channel, subscribe, and you can interact with everybody in the chat room. So shout out to Michael. Hope to see you for some more streams. And that was SmackDown, everybody. I thought it was a great show. I thought it was hot. Crowd was on fire, sold out crowd. WWE has a lot of momentum now heading into WrestleMania. They set up next week's SmackDown. You got Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins coming. You got Karrion Kross versus Bobby Lashley. I thought it was an A show. Like, it flew by very quickly. The Rock segment, like that 40 minutes just flew by. And the show was very entertaining. It was very fast-paced. Obviously, they had to make up for the 40 minutes, taking up a big chunk of the show. Maybe I would have done a few little things differently here and there. Maybe I would have just not done Tiffany versus Naomi on this show, saved it for next week. But I definitely think it was an A show. And as Matthew pointed out, we did have the issue with the screen going black due to the Die Rocky Die sign, and then the audio being muted. So not an A+, unfortunately, but I thought it was a hell of a show. Very much excited for next week. Things are looking really good for WWE and WrestleMania. WWE's on a roll right now. Make sure you guys stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the latest. all the news and rumors regarding WrestleMania and Revolution. I'll be covering Revolution right here. I'll be going live on the YouTube channel. It's also on Twitter and Facebook. But if you want to interact with the chat room, you have to head over to the YouTube channel, nodq.com/YouTube. Hamp Connell sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Hamp. Says, you seem like you're so happy, Aaron. Well, how happy is Katie Vick? Why did you have to mention Katie Vick? We were having such a positive, happy live stream, and you had to bring up Katie Vick. Katie Vick did not have a good run, and we're not going to acknowledge Katie Vick any further. But thank you, Hamp. I appreciate the super chat. You gave everybody likely nightmares for tonight. Very likely gave them nightmares, or will give them nightmares. So good job, Hamp. Good job. Shout out to Walter Cruz, who sent in $2. Says, will Netflix stop these blackouts and censorship? I think there's a better chance that we won't see as many of these issues. Fox is a major network, so I'm not surprised that they would censor certain things. Netflix is a premium service. So yeah, Netflix might not care as much, but that's a question for the Netflix officials. It'll be interesting to see what is allowed, if WWE will be able to do more violence and push the envelope more on Netflix. I mean, I definitely think that they got a better shot of being able to get away with more on Netflix than Fox. That's for sure. I mean, I would say USA Network, cable TV's in the middle. You know, Fox, they're going to have the most restrictions, and then Netflix will probably have the fewest restrictions, if I had to make a guess, but you never know. So thank you all again for tuning in tonight. Michael, I set these up with StreamYard. Anybody out there that wants to live stream, check out StreamYard.com, and you can stream. You can go on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Everybody's doing it. StreamYard.com. I should get like a custom URL to get possible referrals for it, but I don't have it. So yeah, just a plug for StreamYard. Go to StreamYard.com if you want to do this. Thank you all so much again. Have a great weekend, everybody. Take care. Say yes to No DQ. And if you enjoyed the video, buy a shirt at nodq.com/merch. Say yes to No DQ, and I will see you all next time.